This fucking metronome
Oh yeah,
gets me every goddamn time.
yeah. One day, uh, it won't be there.
I doubt it.
They'll patch it out, I'm sure.
I mean, maybe. It's unlikely, though.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're cooking with fire. We're recording.
Oh,
Hey, guys. Welcome to How About episode 4.
has it really been 4? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're talking about The Thing. Oh, I'm Jared.
And I'm Kevin.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're talking about John Carpenter's The Thing, which is a
Is that the full title of it, by the way?
no. It
Okay.
is The Thing,
Yeah.
but it's directed by John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And there is another movie released in 2011 by some schmuck,
Yeah.
but it's also called The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hollywood feels the need to remake movies.
I mean,
And then
that's how stories work anyways.
They need to make more money,
yeah.
so they take a property that people recognize,
yeah.
and then they remake it, and they do a terrible job.
Yeah.
And then no one goes to see the new
Yeah,
one.
it looked bad. I only looked at the pictures, like, on IMDb.
Yeah, the pictures. I mean, like, if you've seen any of the clips, I mean, I didn't watch it either because it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't sound like
It had, like, a
interesting.
few interesting people, like,
It has what's his face from Game of Thrones.
Does it?
Yeah, it's the redheaded wildling guy.
Oh, yeah, Tormund.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, I was thinking of, I think he's, like, an Australian guy. I can't remember his name now. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead? Don't know who that is.
No.
Have you watched Scotch Pilgrim versus the
I
World?
have, yeah, but it was
She's the main lady.
Oh, okay.
With who changes her hair color.
Was she the love interest?
Yeah.
Of
But, like, the not
Mr.
great love
Pilgrim?
interest. Not Knives,
oh,
who is
okay.
the best.
I mean, I don't remember anything about that movie
Okay.
other than Michael Cera being in it. It was Michael Cera, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I get him and Jesse Eisenberg confused.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're the same person.
They don't look super similar, but they play very similar.
Their
characters.
mannerisms are very
Yeah,
much the same.
I think that's what it is.
Like, nervous, skinny white guy.
yes, exactly.
All right, The Thing.
Anyways, yeah, The
Back
Thing.
into The Thing.
Back into The Thing. So, the super great synopsis on IMDb is a research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims.
Yeah. Again, not a great description.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know that
that's
they're
technically
hunted.
that's technically what it is. Yeah, I don't know if I would say they're hunted by it.
More like infected or like
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. Hunted is like the most basic of words that you could have used to describe.
infiltrates the group, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of. Yeah, I mean, they're mostly most of the movie is them hunting the thing.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk a little bit more. So, as I mentioned before, it's directed by John Carpenter and has an ensemble cast of many great actors.
Mostly Kurt Russell, and I forgot Keith David's in this.
Yeah, Keith David's
I
in
like
it. Yep.
did not recognize him.
As Childs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I had a question about Childs. Is he shown earlier than like I feel like he just pops up in the middle sort of?
No,
I didn't remember seeing him earlier.
He's in the beginning part.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. I don't remember if you think he's outside with them when. I guess we can start with a more in-depth plot
Yeah.
go over.
Well,
So,
okay, I had another question.
okay.
Have you watched any other John Carpenter?
Yes,
movies?
I've seen Escape from New York. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it?
Yep. I have not. I wanted to see Halloween, and then I didn't.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it was playing at the Trilon Micro Cinema,
Okay, yeah.
and it was between that movie and Nightmare on Elm Street,
Mm-hmm.
and we decided to go see Nightmare on Elm Street instead. They're playing like the same day, just
Yeah.
at different times,
Yeah.
and we only went to see.
Have
one
you
of them.
seen any Halloweens?
No. It's on my list of movies that I want to go see.
Yeah.
Especially since the remake came out and people didn't hate it. I'm
Yeah.
like, but I feel like I should at least watch the first one.
Yeah,
Although I
guess.
think that's another series that it's sort of like how I view the Psycho series, and I've only seen Psycho, but the sequels are less good, but like everyone says that there's like interesting parts in them that don't make them garbage.
Yeah. I feel like it's a part of the so like I have been listening to this podcast where they talk about Friday the 13th. So I just watched Friday the 13th part 1 and 2. Which were not terrible. Part 2 was actually pretty good.
I really liked part 1. I didn't watch part 2.
Okay. I think part 2 is better a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And again, I'm not a horror fan, and this cemented that I just like did not get into these movies. I only watched it because this podcast was talking about it. Which, by the way, shout out In Voorhees We Trust. People should go check that out. In Voorhees We Trust with Gorley and Rust. So it rhymes a little bit.
That's a.
But anyway, so I watched those two, and I realized, I just like don't the horror aspects of this stuff. I just like doesn't. I'm not jazzed by that. And so I feel like the Psycho sequels, Halloween sequels, Scream sequels, like all that stuff is for people who are really, really into the horror genre and want to have more, which is like, I don't know, like superheroes movies versus like people who don't like superhero sequels.
Yeah, I mean, when you have like genre films like that, like genre series, like it's tough to have them be significantly different from one another. And basically it sounds like, from someone who has only like seen clips of the other movies in these various franchises, what distinguishes them is like, oh, how can we kill people in interesting ways?
Yeah.
Because like, Jason Voorhees is Jason Voorhees throughout this whole series, except, in part 1.
Yeah.
Where it's not him. It's not even him at all, which is great. It's just a very sad, crazy old woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, oh, look how interestingly we can kill these people.
Yeah.
Like the sleeping bag kill, and I think that's like part 4 or something, or 5. I don't know.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. Or like the dude who gets stabbed in the outhouse.
Yeah.
I think that's in part 4 or 5 too. I don't know.
Part 2, people get stabbed. 2 people get stabbed through a bed with a spear. That was a pretty great kill.
That kind of happens in part 1, I thought, right? Did he get stabbed in like a machine? Or
no, he gets stabbed underneath the bed.
That's
Kevin
right.
Bacon.
Yep, yeah, it was Kevin Bacon. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't even know it was Kevin Bacon. So
like a knife or something.
Okay, we're pretty off topic though.
Yeah.
Back to the thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. So it's Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley, T.K. Carter, David Clement, Keith David, Richard Dysart, and then other people that are less important.
Yeah.
But pretty much, it's those characters, and they are at the American Research Station in Antarctica. And the movie starts, and these people are in a helicopter trying to shoot a dog. It's a very cute husky pupper.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And the 2 people in the helicopter end up dying in kind of hilarious ways.
Because
one of them drops a grenade and explodes himself in the helicopter.
Yeah, because it was like filled with kerosene or something.
Yeah,
like that.
And then the other one is like trying to shoot this dog, and Kurt Russell and his friends are like, well, what the hell? And then so one of them kills the guy with the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, these people were Norwegian. There's like their Norwegian base is, several miles away. Let's go there. Kurt Russell's a pilot, so he takes the doctor guy.
Yeah.
And they go and examine the station, which is like burnt to shit, and there's like crazy stuff, dead people, just kind of frozen.
Yeah, and then like some sort of creature that they.
Well, they find like this ice tomb, like this ice coffin.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what was this? That's weird.
Yeah.
And then they find some weird creature-y thing.
Yeah, that's like a morph of like it is like 2 human heads.
Yeah, it's like 2 human heads all morphed together at the cheek.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this seems like a good idea to bring this back to our base.
Yeah, let's do it. Also, maybe let's eat it. I don't know.
No, they don't. They don't.
Same train of thought to me.
Yeah.
Just so dumb.
But anyways, the dog in the beginning that was being shot at, turns out is a monster from outer space.
Yep. Oh yeah. First we see a saucer crash on Earth.
Yeah, we see a flying saucer land on Earth.
Yep.
And then the movie sort of starts.
Yeah.
That scene is really weird, and like,
why?
Because like, I mean, I get it that like you want to set it up that it's because we see the spaceship later on in the film, But I feel like it's kind of unnecessary almost. And like,
I mean,
I kind of wish the movie had just started with the dog.
Just because I feel like it would have been more confusing.
It would have been more confusing, but I think I would have. I don't know. It's just like kind of a weird place to start the movie, but it kind of had to start like that because it's been in the ice for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I think they explain like, oh, this is a weird, big flying saucery thing. It's like a matte painting. But
yeah, pretty cool matte painting.
It's a good matte painting.
Yeah, and again, like the alien body thing with the two human heads, very cool effects.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's
effects
like
really hold up.
I think that's what makes this movie stand out. Is how good the effects were. Like it came out in '82.
Yeah.
But the effects, like it's mostly puppets and or probably not animatronics, but there's like some claymation. And there's like that matte painting. But the effects are still really, really good.
Yeah.
Like you contrast that with like CG, like the Blade movies.
I haven't seen any.
Okay, well.
But yeah, I mean, I know that type of CG. Like early
like
2000s
early
CG.
2000 CG, like the 1990s. Like, if we ignore
the
Jurassic
Mummy.
Park. Yeah, The Mummy. Basically anything where they created a bunch of monsters.
Yeah.
And they look cartoonish and terrible. Like this thing.
Yeah.
The Thing is incredible looking.
Yeah, and also so gross.
It's so incredibly gross. It's very slimy and tentacly.
Gross.
And it sprays jism everywhere.
Yep. That's the worst part for me. I just don't like moist, sticky, and wet monsters.
Yeah. And there's a great scene where Wilford Brimley is like cutting into it. He's just going like, oh!
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, and there were like real animal innards in there.
Yeah, they're really gross and slimy and covered with nastiness.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm not into that. Like I respect it, and I give like major props to that. I feel like very few movies now hold up in this way.
Right? Yeah, I think I can't think of a movie where the effects hold up like this good. Like even like you watch like. Movie? You watch like Lord of the Rings, and that had like really great effects. And those effects still like
they're
stand
above
up for the most part.
Yeah, certainly from movies made of that time. But today,
you look at today, and you're like, those movies only came out a decade ago or whatever.
Yeah,
or almost 2 decades ago. But like they look much worse. Than they did, especially like the Oliphants and the Return of the King.
Or like
goofy looking now.
The big thing for me was in Fellowship. When they leave the Mines of Moria, there's like a CG shot of them where they're like probably just running on like plastic rocks, but like none of their feet are like interacting with what they're walking on
ground
in any way.
Yeah, and it's like okay, they're very far away.
Yeah, and then like Gollum too has that same thing.
Yeah,
which, like
or like even like a more modern movie like Rogue One, like Grand Moff Tarkin looks terrible.
Yeah. I mean,
CGI Grand Moff Tarkin looks like he was taken straight from like the Clone Wars animated series.
Yeah. Not exactly.
No. No, it's not quite that bad. It was very jarring.
Been Rebels anyways. It's more prominent in Rebels.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. I don't know. It was just very jarring for me, that experience. But this is not jarring, and maybe because it's just so gross, but like, everything that's happening every time. So the thing perfectly can imitate any creature that it assimilates.
Yeah.
So it basically like grabs you with its tentacles and then like kind of figures out how to copy you exactly.
Yeah. But it also takes you over. It doesn't create a duplicate.
It does not create a duplicate, but it doesn't like but it you don't run.
It converts you.
Yeah. Yeah, so like if it like gets you, I think what it does is it just like replaces all of your cells with its own.
Yeah.
And leaving like because it doesn't like disappear inside you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it reuses your cells. I think it just like uses your cells to like create more of itself. Yeah. Sort of like if we look like there's a great exposition shot of Wilford Brimley looking at a computer.
Yeah.
And it like
so
it's just like
silly.
It's like bloop. bloop,
Yeah.
bloop. And
how
then, like, the
how
little,
are they? What is that?
why do they
technology?
have that computer?
But also,
like,
what is that technology?
It's a great computer thing that says like assimilation.
Yeah.
Like chance of one of the crew being infected is 75%.
That's the least plausible thing, I feel like, is like, those types
not
of things.
Not the alien from outer space.
No, I mean, like, the thing that, like,
right,
leapt out at me as didn't make sense. Because, like, I mean, I bought into the alien from outer space, but I didn't buy into that they have a machine specifically that can do that exact thing on this just random outpost in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, it's a scientific research station, so they have a computer. That makes sense. I don't know why the computer can, like, run that analysis.
Yeah.
The computer shouldn't be able to do that. It's 1982. But, like, I understand that it was either have that scene where, like, the computer is just sort of telling the audience what's going on and, like, what the stakes are.
Yeah.
Or you have someone kind of come up with it out of nowhere. And either way, I don't know if there's, like, a really good, like, solution to that problem. Because the audience needs to know, like, what the stakes are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, beyond, like, our characters are in danger. Which is fine. That can be the stakes.
Yeah. I guess I would have bought it if it was, like, a real microscope and not on the computer. Just the computer felt goofy to me. Like that, there was like a readout that said like conversion complete or something like that. Or what does it say?
It's like doing an analysis, like a simulation. So maybe it's I don't know, but like they set up that they have like weird computer things. They have like a computer box that says Chess Wizard, that Kurt Russell destroys.
Great. Yeah.
Cheating bitch, and then he destroys it.
Yeah, he pours his whiskey.
He pours his whiskey in it, which is great.
So what a waste of whiskey, and they have so much whiskey.
They do have a lot of alcohol, but I mean, they're a research station in Antarctica. What are they going to do? They're going to play ping pong.
Yeah, okay. So
play Chess Wizard.
Yeah. My point though is that like, wouldn't that take up a lot of valuable like space in however they got there? All them crates of whiskey.
No,
I mean not really. I'm just like
it's fine.
It's silly.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that. I think the magical exposition machine is silly, but how much alcohol they have, I that seems perfectly believable to me.
Yeah,
just because I don't know what else people would do up in Antarctica.
Yeah, well, I mean, he destroyed their only entertainment, the Chess Wizard.
Yeah, Kurt Russell just destroyed it.
What a dickhead!
Well, he lost, so
Snake
he's just
Plissken
a bit of a
strikes again.
So, yeah, he's not quite Snake Plissken in this movie.
No, he's not as
he's not as like nonchalant.
Yeah,
he kind of gives more of a shit about what's happening around him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good in this
Yeah.
movie though. I mean, I really like Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell's fun.
Don't know that I've seen a bad Kurt Russell performance. Well, Fast and the Furious. Him in those. It's pretty
Which
goofy.
one is he in that?
He's in like 6, 7, and 8, I think.
Oh yeah, he's like that.
Yeah, he plays
government
like
guy or something.
Yeah, like not the CIA, not
he
the
plays
FBI.
like the Adam Baldwin equivalent, like Adam Baldwin.
Yeah,
in
like
Mission
the head
Impossible.
of the Mission Impossible Force. He's the head of the Fast and Furious Force or whatever.
Right. That's
like
right.
Special Task Force or some bullshit.
Yeah, he can phone that performance in.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
It's very but I mean, he just like has that like gravitas of like he's very Harrison Fordy.
Yeah. Yep. Weren't you saying that?
Yeah, he was up for Han Solo.
Yeah, and then they went with Harrison Ford.
Yep.
I mean, they're similar actors at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Harrison Ford is iconic in that role, so it's hard to imagine like Kurt Russell in it. Like we can take Snake Plissken and put him in there, and that's like that doesn't make any sense. Like,
it'd be pretty silly.
Take McCready and put him in there, and that's also just doesn't really.
Yeah. This also opened the same day as Blade Runner.
Yep, Blade Runner.
They were both like panned and hated by audiences.
Yeah, and then loved later on when people are like, "Oh wait, this movie is actually like has lots of amazing things going on."
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't a sequel ever made. Do you know if they ever tried to make a sequel to the thing?
I don't know if they ever tried. I mean, they made that prequel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it does. I think the problem is that it's not like. It's not.
There's not really any space for a sequel, anyways. Like it ends pretty definitively.
Well, yes and no. Like you can say it. I mean, you don't know. We don't know when the spoiler alert. The movie ends and everyone sort of dies except for Kurt Russell and Keith David.
Yeah.
And
good of you to put a spoiler alert 20 minutes in.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just the two of them left, and when Kurt Russell's like off doing something, like Keith David kind of wanders away, and you're like, well, where did he go? And then Kurt Russell doesn't really know if he's a thing or not, and vice versa. Keith David doesn't know if Kurt Russell is the thing.
Yeah.
And they're both just like kind of tired and like defeated.
Yeah.
So one or both of them could be the thing.
Yeah. Their body is discovered 30 years later.
Yeah, and then the same thing happens again. How'd that happen?
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh, the thing is here.
Oopsie doodles.
Yeah. But originally, this was a short story. It was a novella written by John W. Campbell Jr. under the pen name Don A. Stewart.
Yeah.
And it basically follows, it was written in like the 30s. It was, 1938.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. And
it was there was an original too. It was like the thing from outer space made by Howard Hawks.
Oh, the original movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like the 50s though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a more of a standard like B movie.
Yeah.
From that era,
like
where
classic,
it's like a bunch of scientists and a weird monster, like a dude in a suit, and then they're like,
yeah,
what are we doing?
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it though.
Yeah, I've seen like some clips from it. It looks like a very different style of movie.
Yeah.
Just one of those more classic B movie things.
Yeah.
Just it's fine. Yeah, the John Carpenter movie is much more similar to the novella, which I read after our viewing of this. All the character names are pretty much the same, and like a lot of the same things happen.
Yeah.
Where they except the Norwegian camp is cut out, but they find it and then they cut it open, and then they're like, oh, it's not actually dead.
Yeah.
And then it kind of takes them over, but it does talk much more explicitly about, like, it asks questions about like what the thing actually is and whether or not, like, when you're assimilated into the thing, like, do you even know? Because it's a perfect copy of who you are.
Yeah, which is kind of touched on in the movie.
It is much more. It's subtly touched on in the movie,
but it's like not really what the movie is about. Which again, I like that sort of. I enjoy sci-fi that is unassuming sci-fi that is about something other than, like, what are the mechanics of this science fiction creature? And there are aliens that changes our world. It's more like, oh no, it's a panicked, survival.
Right. So there's
paranoia.
There's a couple main things going on in this movie, I think. The first is like sort of the immediate falling apart of trust in the group, where they realize kind of what's going on, and then they realize that any one of them could be the thing.
Yeah.
And they don't know if there is another thing, like, kind of wandering around still. And so they're like, no one trusts anyone, and
they start behaving irrationally.
They start behaving irrationally because they're like kind of going stir crazy.
Yeah.
And they're in Antarctica in like the winter time, so it's very, very cold, and everyone is upset. And so there's that, which is, probably the most interesting part of the film.
Yeah.
It's just how quickly and how drastically they all fall apart.
Yeah. Which is made more interesting by, like, they're kind of a weirdly disparate group of people.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to, like, Alien, in which there were pretty clear groups of people that were kind of banded together.
Right.
Like, I don't know that there was that really in this. Like, they seemed
they seemed more just like they're all sort of loners.
Yeah.
In Alien, the mechanics were, like, friendly with each other and stuff like that, and
like the command crew was kind of
the command crew was kind of like, there's that family table sort of.
In this, it's like only MacReady and the scientist guy, not the doctor, but the sciencey guy. Like, they seem like the best of friends,
the closest of friends, but that's not really saying all that much,
right?
And so that's why when they do start, like, not trusting each other, it falls apart so quickly, because they just never had, like, a very strong, like, bond to begin with.
Yeah.
They're just sort of all there to, do whatever work that they had to do. Especially since, like, there were, like, the biologist type people, and then like McCready and one of the other characters are just pilots that are just there to like bring people around when they need to go places.
That explains why McCready is so grumpy too.
Yeah,
he's
just getting a paycheck.
Yeah,
and it's cold and it's like kind of shitty.
Yeah, I'd read that originally his backstory is going to be he was like discharged from Vietnam for some reason and like disgruntled because of that. I don't remember if they'd filmed it or if it was all like just script based.
Right, just like kind of extra stuff for the actors or for Kurt Russell or whoever.
That would have been
treat him interesting or act.
It would have been interesting, I think. Wouldn't really add too much, but
yeah. Anyways, so you have that the whole mistrust thing within the group, and then you have the sort of larger scale message of like it's sort of a movie. I think of the thing as sort of representing not just like one external threat, but like any external threat. So because it's like this shape-shifting monster, you can sort of say it's any threat like environmental or political or
and it's a case study on how humans react to
and how exactly
a change in scenario,
right,
and that we kind of devolve and start nipping at each other's heels.
We're not super good at dealing with
the unexpected,
with the unexpected, especially when it's like horrifying. So like that in particular, like the fact that the thing is so disgusting and awful. Kind of adds to that whole feeling, I think.
Is there a point to why they don't call it an alien? Like they very pointedly refer to it as the thing or this thing or that thing.
I think it's because I don't know. I would say that it's just because it's so far out of like, their grasp and understanding. That they're just like, this thing, because it is like just a disgusting thing. And like, especially when they first see it as like the dual-headed person that's like fused together or whatever.
There were a lot of great horrified reactions for that.
Just because that puppet is so great.
Well, it was
that's
just a model, right?
Yeah, it's a model, but it's wonderful.
Again, the effects are really good. Just
very gross.
Super gross. Also, we get a lot of good barrels of gasoline exploding in this. Explosions and
because of course they just explode like that.
Yeah, everything's filled with gasoline.
Movie magic, it'll explode.
I like that the design of the thing is very alien in that it literally has different biological functions than us. That's always fun. It's kind of easy for, again, a dude in a suit just to play like a humanoid type thing.
Right.
But this was a very different type of
monster.
Even
cool. like Alien, which came out several years before the thing. Like
2 years.
It has like, it's definitely alien in form, but you can see that it's a dude in a suit. Which is not like inherently bad. It's just, I think the novella, talks about how the thing can turn into anything that it has previously turned into. And so that's why it has like all these different like spidery legs or like tentacles or dog heads or whatever. And I know John Carpenter like explicitly didn't want to make a dude in a suit movie. And so that's why they were like, yes, we'll make this disgusting like creature that has like, it's like impossible to describe. It's just tentacly and gross. Sort of reminds me of the description of It in Stephen King's It. It's like they're like the description is like, it's beyond human comprehension. And the closest thing is like a spider. And then so in the TV movie, like from the 90s or whenever, it's like
just a spider,
big spider. That they like punch with rocks and then it dies.
That's pretty good.
They like push it over. But this thing is sort of like a spider too. Like when the
Yeah,
head
bits.
falls
Yeah, the
off.
head.
The
was
head
cool.
falls off, and then the spider legs kind of like creak out,
crunch
and
out.
kind of walks
Gross
away.
sound effects in this movie too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sound in
like,
this movie is wonderful.
People stirring macaroni and cheese around, which is like the grossest sound.
A lot of like,
a lot of that cracking of bones.
Mm-hmm. As it turns from one thing to another.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the best effect was when the dog's head splits open.
Oh yeah.
And then the skull falls out.
Yeah, that's so great. It's so cool because like, how did they do that? Like, they built
I didn't know how they
like,
did. A lot of these effects, again, why they hold up so well is that I legit have no idea how they did these.
And like the guy who is like in charge of it, or at least like one of the guys, was like he was like 21 years old. And it's like 22. The first 21 or 20. Yeah, he's like the first thing he's done is this like masterpiece of like models and like it's just like
he had to be hospitalized during the production of the film.
Did he?
Yeah, for exhaustion.
Oh, really? That's not surprising. I mean, I know that they brought on someone else to help.
Yeah. And that person declined credit too.
Oh, really?
Whoever they brought on, he said like, no, it's all this guy. I just like came in here.
There's someone else who's like,
out.
I remember reading about it, but I don't remember who it actually was. But I know he was like famous for doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Before and prior and since.
Yeah. Has this special effects guy done anything else? This main guy?
I don't know. I don't remember what that guy's name is either.
Yeah.
That's what happens. This is not a professional podcast. We're not here to inform
we're not
anyone.
experts. We're
just some schmucks sitting in a room.
Yep.
With
very hot room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the music in this movie?
It was good.
It's very John Carpenter.
But it actually wasn't him.
Yeah.
It was Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
I really like Ennio Morricone. He's really good.
He done?
Like a bunch of westerns, spaghetti westerns, Sergio Leone movies. It's like Once Upon a Time in the West is one of my favorites. But then also the Man with No Name trilogy with
he also did The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think there's actually
he used unused music from the thing in The Hateful Eight.
I mean, I heard that Carpenter like helped with it.
Did he?
Yeah.
I saw that like the studio didn't ask Carpenter to do the music, and so they hired somebody. And Carpenter just like said to Morricone, like, could you like do a score like mine? And Morricone's like, I'm Italian, sure. Pepperoni.
It was very. I mean, it's very similar to the score from Escape from New York. Just like it's very minimalistic
kind of.
And like just in general, like the main theme of the thing is so great. And I had it stuck in my head for like 2 days afterwards. Just like bomb.
Oh yeah, that was good. Also very Jaws like.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know, nothing to write home about for me. Just like it was appropriate in the time, but I'm not gonna go out and listen to the soundtrack.
No, yeah, I mean it's not.
There's a lot of rising strings, like the strings just going.
Right.
As like dramatic stuff is happening.
Yeah.
That was fun, I guess.
Yeah, I think the score of this movie works just so well with like what the tone the movie is going for.
Yeah.
And that like it doesn't like kind of over trump anything that the actors are doing or anything that the movie is trying to show you.
Yeah.
And it like it's just like there kind of.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds to that this is very much not a blockbuster movie.
Yeah, even though it had like a blockbuster budget.
Yeah.
For like
did
the
it?
time. I think it had a pretty sizable budget.
Okay.
And then it did terrible. And then I mean the budget was $15 million.
Yeah.
And the box office was only 19.6 in North America, but yeah. Okay, so
it's pretty
John
bad.
Carpenter apparently said what's the guy's name?
Ennio Morricone?
Yeah. Morricone did all the orchestrations and recorded for me 20 minutes of music I could use wherever I wished, but without seeing any footage. I cut his music into the film and realized that there were places, mostly scenes of tension, in which his music would not work. I secretly ran off and recorded in a couple of days a few pieces to use. My pieces were very simple electronic pieces. It was almost tones. It was not really music at all, but just background sounds. Something today you might even consider as sound effects.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
they just like he just like slapped it together.
Yeah.
And like
he seems like exactly that type of guy, though.
Right. Yeah. I mean, now Carpenter like doesn't make any movies. He just goes around and he like.
Is there
does
a reason
concerts.
for that? Has he said like?
I mean, I think he just got really disillusioned with like Hollywood in general.
Yeah.
It seems like, I mean, I know The Thing is his favorite of his movies.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
And like it just did so terribly, like in the box office, and like Roger Ebert like
eviscerated it.
Panned it. Did you read that review of it?
I didn't read the whole review. I read like
the excerpt and how it's like
Yeah,
teenagers will dare each other to like to watch this movie, to see who can watch the movie or something like that.
Which I don't disagree. It's just like weird to me that it never caught on, like the way that Friday the 13th or like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I mean,
that type of stuff, and just like, this is gross. We're gonna go see this gross stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as fun as those movies.
Yeah, there are no ladies in it.
There's also no TNA.
Yeah, which
is like, what I think is fine. Like, it'd be weird if they shoehorned a woman into this movie. I mean, they could have.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be shoehorned necessarily. It's just like female scientists exist.
Yeah,
so they could have had one.
That's news to me. Just kidding. I'm not a misogynist.
There was at least one.
Please.
I'm sure there was one.
Yeah, Marie Curie.
Yeah,
she was probably dead by that.
She was probably dead by then. They could have brought her back.
Yeah,
yeah, but there's like no women. There's only one female. And it's the voice of Chess Wizard.
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell destroys her.
I think that was John Carpenter's wife.
It was,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Checkmate. Checkmate. Checkmate.
Cheating bitch.
Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah. So good.
And it's just so silly. But yeah, I mean, in general, this movie is not a fun film.
Yeah.
It's not like, like slasher horror movies with like the blood spraying everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just
And again, unblockbuster in that there's not one big really end battle all that much.
Yeah,
it's pretty much slow burn through and through.
Right. Yeah. There's no the final confrontation is like, half a minute long or something.
Yeah. And there's no knockdown, drag out battle.
No. Yeah, there's not even really a moment where you're like, hooray.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. He throws a stick of dynamite at him. It's very like kind of.
And you're not necessarily rooting for Kurt Russell either, because it's kind of unclear whether or not he is the Thing.
Right. So yeah, he could have just been the Thing the whole time and not known.
Yeah, and played the long game somehow.
Yeah.
Although it felt like, and the other thing I enjoyed about the design of the Thing is that it was very instinctual or animalistic, kind of very basic survival.
Yeah, it tries to blend in as much as possible, and then
but whenever it's threatened,
right,
which is why the blood scene works so well.
Right,
it's when they take the blood and he puts the hot whatever.
The idea is he'll test for the Thing, and he's like, Kurt Russell is like, okay, I saw the little head.
How he puts that together, I
saw
the
head of their friend, scurry away, like it was trying to survive. So maybe every part of this thing is has enough sentience or consciousness to try to survive.
Yeah.
And so it'll try to escape from a hot needle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take some blood from every one of you.
Why wasn't it panicking when he cuts them?
Because it's not a total threat, right? Because it seemed like that the thing itself, the whole organism knows it's not in danger.
Yeah.
But each individual cell does not.
Okay.
And so it holds it together for long enough, and also until the little cells in the blood cells in the petri dish
fully dying
betray them by freaking out. So basically, he takes blood from everyone, heats up a bit of copper wire.
Yeah.
With the flamethrowers that they have.
Yeah. Smart plan, and then. Yeah,
right.
So first, I don't understand how he puts that together, which, whatever. I don't really care that much. But then, when it finally comes to go time, nobody can get their goddamn flamethrower to work.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was part hilarious, part just come on, guys.
Well,
you had one job.
Kurt Russell's is, probably on, the low, setting, so that it'll heat up the thing.
Yeah, I suppose.
And so he has to do something to, get it all.
But it takes him a full 5 minutes.
It takes him a long time to get it set up, And in the meantime, the thing eats one of his friends, who he had confirmed was not a monster.
Yeah.
And then as it's turning into a monster, he burns him, and then he runs through the the wall of the
and also, he shouldn't have strapped the three of them to that one couch.
I mean, he wanted to strap them to something so they couldn't run away. I mean, I guess he could have just tied them up on the floor.
They should have been individual chairs or something.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they had a ton of rope. Like, they didn't have enough separate rope.
Again, it doesn't break. Like, I think it doesn't ruin anything.
I think it makes that
just,
scene.
It's a great scene because I like when that guy starts vibrating. What's his name?
I don't remember.
He's not the scientist, is he?
No, he's not the scientist.
He's like just some other random guy.
Is that?
But anyways, he starts vibrating on that couch,
right?
Like right as soon as he touches the blood, and then like he like starts to like convulse and things start coming. Right. Stuff starts coming out of him.
The thing realizes it's cornered, and then it like kind of breaks out and tries to escape.
Again, gross.
Yeah.
But well done.
Yeah, it's like just kind of shaking, and they're like, "What the hell?" And then it like cuts to like Kurt Russell trying to fuck with his flamethrower.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back, and it's just like this face is melting off, and it's like bleeding.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Is he the guy who does? I think my favorite stunt was the walking through the wall person on
fire.
Wasn't
that Windows, the guy who gets bitten a bunch? Or no, it was the other guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, no, I think it was Windows because Windows has the other flamethrower.
Yep, Windows has the other flamethrower.
And he gets attacked by this guy.
He gets attacked by this guy and gets his head bitten a bunch.
Yeah. And then he gets
and then he starts like
gets lit up by Kurt Russell.
Yep, Kurt Russell flames him up.
Yeah, I loved that stunt. I mean, fire stunts are just
right.
Like,
it was
so
a lot
cool,
of fun,
but also
like
so
he
dicey.
Just runs through this thing, and it's made of like a centimeter or less of like particle board.
I mean, just drywall.
Yeah,
it's like that James Bond in Casino Royale when he just bursts through that door.
Right.
In the parkour scene.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
It's exactly
like that.
That's where the people in Casino Royale got the idea.
They probably did get
they
it. They
watched the thing.
They watched the thing and they're like,
wait, it doesn't make sense for James Bond to be on fire. Okay, we're just gonna walk through the drywall.
Yeah. How do we get James Bond out of the situation?
Yeah.
He'll just escape through the drywall.
Yeah. I love people on fire stunts because they're just like they're in a suit, obviously,
right?
And they're walking like so they don't light their face on fire. And It just looks super goofy.
Yeah,
but also great. So much.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah. A lot of fire in this movie.
Yeah. They have the flamethrowers to like, in the novella they have it to like de-ice the airplane. They don't have helicopters in 38, but they have an airplane, that McCready flies, Kurt Russell's character in the movie. But so they have the flamethrowers to de-ice the plane. So I'm assuming they have the flamethrowers for this similar reason, or just to melt the ice in general.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
I enjoyed them going Molotov cocktailing every room as they leave.
Yeah, as they, Kurt Russell and two other characters, they're like, okay, well, we're not going to survive, so we might as well try to be sure we kill this thing.
Yeah.
So then they take Molotov cocktails and they throw them in each room of their research station.
Yeah.
To like burn it down, and then they go into the weird ice cavern storage room where that's filled with like chairs and cabinets that are all beat up for some reason, and the generator. It's a very strange set.
Oh yeah, the downstairs, like the basement.
The basement area, which
was enormous.
It was enormous, and it was just a really weird set. It had so much like random shit in it.
Yeah. It also had the thing that I love, which is like crusted on ice /snow effect.
Yeah,
which looks a lot like like flame retardant, white flame retardant everywhere. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, it looks like powdered sugar.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's a fun effect.
Decent snow effects /real snow maybe.
Yeah, I think
it didn't look too terrible. They filmed in Canada.
Yeah, they filmed in Canada. So
there were people who went and found the original filming location.
Oh, really?
And stole helicopter parts.
Oh, assholes!
Yeah.
I mean,
they left them there.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it's like Tatooine, the Tatooine sets in where are they? They're not in Jordan, but they're in like some random country, and like people go there and like steal stuff and write on little huts walls because they didn't take any of that stuff down. Which is like that's not great. Movies, I think you could do better. Tear down your sets, guys. We probably don't burn them to ash first, but
okay, I figured out who the effects artist was. It was Rob Bottin.
Okay.
And he did he worked on The Thing. He also did The Fog. That was also John Carpenter.
Yeah,
and
you
then
haven't seen that?
I've not. He also worked on RoboCop, Total Recall, and Basic Instinct. And on Seven and Fight Club.
No way.
This dude
he got in with Verhoeven.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. The RoboCop
did he
effects are very
also
very good too.
Gory and
yeah.
I like those better though because they weren't alien-y. Like I don't like. So the other thing is I enjoy Starship Troopers as a movie. I do not like those aliens.
Those aliens are terrible looking.
They're unappealing to me. I think they look fine.
I mean, have you seen it recently? Like,
yeah,
they look terrible.
Past 5 years.
Really?
Do they? I don't know that they look that terrible. The CG looks real
bad, I think.
Well, yeah, the CG parts, yeah. But I mean, like, when they're real actual models and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think they look fine.
They look okay then. But, like, when they're all doing stuff, they look kind of
yeah, like a big, like, horde or whatever.
And, like, the big brain alien looks pretty terrible, I think.
Okay. I'll take your word for it,
You'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
And then get back to me.
I watched it pretty recently.
I watched it
a couple of years.
I watched it like a couple months ago. So I got you beat there.
Okay.
Sure. Rewatch it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a great movie.
Yeah.
Just the bug monsters look kind of gross.
What effects were in I suppose the kills.
In
Basic
RoboCop?
Instinct?
Oh,
no,
Basic Instinct. Yeah.
I mean, RoboCop is filled with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
The blasting of the hand.
Yeah, and the head and everything.
Yeah.
His legs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, his entire body.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, so that is one movie that I've seen the original and saw the remake, and the remake is, in comparison, a totally different, terrible movie. And by itself is a terrible movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Just our point about I
mean that happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's another totally separate movie that was great when the original came out, and then we tried to remake it.
Yeah,
and it has interesting parts. I think like the design of RoboCop, like it looks better because
it's sleeker and
cooler looking. But I mean, the rest of the movie was just so bland and kind of generic, boring. It had no satire. Yeah, just like the fun part of RoboCop.
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of the entire point of RoboCop.
That's entire point of Verhoeven in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, do you think any of our friends will watch this movie? The ones that didn't watch it with us?
I don't know. Unlikely.
Yeah. I told one of our friends to watch it, and I think you will.
Yeah.
But in general, I wanted to have
people...
it's
just not a crowd-pleasing movie.
No. I wanted people to watch this because, for one, I couldn't think of another movie. I had another movie planned out, and then I forgot what it was, and then I couldn't remember, and I was like, let's watch The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I originally wasn't going to because we had just watched Alien, and the movies are...
pretty similar.
They're sort of similar in, like, basic themes and stuff like that. And, like, it's like, it's a group that's isolated. There's an external threat.
Yeah.
That's fun. Sort of horror movie-esque stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very, very, very different films. And so I don't think, like, you could watch Alien and then watch The Thing and be like, these movies are too similar. Like, I feel like I just watched this. Just because, like, I think that thematically they're similar, but, like, have different enough stuff. Like, there's never any... Like, Sigourney Weaver is never like, I don't know if I can trust people. I mean, she can't trust, Bilbo.
Yeah.
But like, everyone else, she doesn't think she can't trust Bilbo until she turns out that she can't.
Yeah, it's not about, everybody turning on each other.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a very clear external threat as opposed to an internal threat.
Right.
Which is also, so The Thing doesn't delve into body horror, really.
No.
It's more paranoia about each other as opposed to yourself.
Right. And then something disgusting happens. But like
yeah.
But it's so it changes from like the people that are turning into the true form of the thing. Like it never looks like they don't
change personality in any way.
Right.
They're not different people because they've been taken over by the thing,
right.
which is like part of what. Again, it would make it a different movie, but I think I would be more interested in that type of movie. Like somebody starts acting weird because they're turned into the thing. Like if the thing had some sort of
like Invasion of
to it.
the Body Snatchers.
I guess. I mean, I haven't seen that, but like that. Yeah. I mean, I've Star Trek has done this before.
Right. Yeah, I think that. I don't know. I think it would kind of defeat the purpose, though. In that, like, they'd be like, "Hey, that dude's acting weird."
Yeah.
And, like, the whole point is that the thing is like an absolute perfect copy, and so you don't like.
Yeah.
You don't even know that you are the thing.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. My problem, and it's not really a problem. It's just a taste thing. Is that I don't know that there is all that much of a moral to this story. Like, it feels like a very simple sort of, like, there's not any moralistic choice that anybody needs to make all that much. Know what I mean?
They kind of make a choice, right? They make a choice that, like, they're gonna give up trying to survive, and they're like, we need to take, we're gonna, like, we're done living, we need to make sure that this
but that didn't feel so much of the point of the movie, though.
No, not really. It's just like something that happens. They like kind of realize that they can't, continue
like that's
on.
a part of my problem with slasher movies is that it's not so much about the psychology of the killers all that much. It's more about these people are all going to die, and who's going to be the last person to survive, which is fine, but it's just like not my cup of tea. Yeah, again, but then it is traded off with this is a very visually interesting movie.
Right.
Well shot, well directed.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool, like...
effects are, again, just incredible.
Right. Like, I think the colors of the movie are really cool. They're, like, holding these flares, and it's, like, throwing up all these, like, purples and reds, and then, like, the cold ice is, like, blue, and, like...
Yeah, pretty colorful, actually, not so bland. Like, that was my other thing about looking at the pictures of the remake of the thing, is it looked so bland and boring.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't do anything interesting with it.
Yeah.
Famously, they had a bunch of, like, practical effects and models and stuff that they were going to use, and then some person involved was like, nope, go to the CG.
Yep. Some genius.
And then it looks terrible. Like, you watch any clip of it on YouTube, and it's just like a cutscene in a video game, but worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You want to rate this bad boy?
This movie is a 10 out of 10 for me.
All right.
I really, really, I think, for me, I really enjoy this movie, and I also think that it was a movie that John Carpenter has his fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
And, like, he wanted to make, like, this is exactly the movie that he wanted to make.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe looking, and, like, it sounds like he is really happy with where it ended, even though it, like, did terrible at the box office, and, like, everyone hated it when it came out. And only recently, or, like, as it's gone, as time has passed, people are like,
it's become a cult classic.
This movie's, like, got some interesting things.
Yeah.
And so that, like, that really makes it perfect for me, is that, like, he has no problems with it, and, like, if he were given the chance to remake it, he would have just, I don't think, well, I mean, he wouldn't remake it now, but, if you could send him back in time. He wouldn't change anything. Yeah, even though it was...
Even if he had a chance.
Right. Even though it was, like, everyone hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to you?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to give it an 8.
Wow, that's much higher than I thought.
Yeah, just because it's such a solid movie.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of movie making, there's nothing that...
there's nothing inherently
doesn't
wrong,
work.
I think, yeah.
There's nothing that is, like, goofy or... out of place. That I mean, it feels very cohesively. This is a very much what was set out to be made.
Right.
Just like those 2 points off are just not. I don't have an inclination to watch it again.
Sure.
And I don't really have an inclination to go out and see the rest of this director's oeuvre in any way.
Oh. So you're not into. You don't want to watch Into the Mouth of Madness with me?
No, not really. I'm surprised you haven't watched more John Carpenter, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I really enjoy this movie, but you kind of have to get yourself in the right mindset.
Yeah.
Like, it's... And also, yeah. No one else that I know really likes these movies all that much.
I mean, I did like... And I liked it more, Escape from New York.
Right.
And I do want to watch Escape from L.A., even though it's terrible.
Yeah, Escape from New York is a much different film.
Yeah.
But like this movie, The Thing, and there's like two others.
Halloween, The Fog?
No, there's like Into the Mouth of Madness and one other movie where John Carpenter has like his apocalyptic trilogy.
Oh, okay.
And those are the two movies. I mean, I can't even remember the second one, but that I want to watch more than even like Halloween.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds interesting. But yeah, and it's just like you kind of have to get yourself in the right mindset.
Yeah.
And like, eventually I'll get around to it. There's a lot of movies that I want to watch that I just don't have like the mental energy to like sit down and watch them.
Yeah.
And also like when I watched this the first time, it was like I think it was free on Amazon Prime. It was like last year. And so that's why I decided to watch it. It's like why I watched Escape from New York. It was also free on Amazon.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah, they're not easy to find.
No. I mean, they're old. And
streaming anyway.
They're old and they're not like beloved.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people that love these movies, but
yeah, those are the people who bought every single edition of the VHS or DVD.
Right. The Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. This movie is really good in my opinion.
Yeah, so if you like,
but it's also,
what do you if you had to if people are looking to, what type of people do you think will like this? If they like other films, is this comparable to anything?
I have not seen anything quite like it, where like it like the creatures, the thing is just so horrifying and gross.
Yeah.
And like the effects are so great and like disgusting.
Yeah.
It's not like a scary film, I don't think. And so like saying like, oh, if you're a fan of horror, go watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's like it has.
There aren't any jump scares at all.
There's that one with the blood.
Oh,
where they do the thing and like it jumps out, kinda.
Yeah.
But that's not really like, it's not scary.
Yeah, nobody's like surprised around any corners or anything.
Right, yeah. It's not like there's ever any moment where like you're afraid for Kurt Russell. Like,
yeah.
He just kind of does Kurt Russell things, and you're like, he's such a badass. He'll survive anything.
Yeah.
And then, like,
but also like it doesn't seem to care to survive all that much.
Yeah, yeah. Because he's just so like
nonchalant.
Yeah. Almost as much as Snake Plissken, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to pin down who this movie is like actually for. I would say. Obviously, it's like a really well made film.
Yeah.
And so like if you're a fan of like other John Carpenter things, like or Kurt Russell even, like Kurt Russell is Kurt Russell in this movie. It's great.
Yeah. He's peak Kurt Russell.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing is like I don't know that it's that iconic and that like people have taken from this in any way or it has influenced a lot of people. Just like for one, I don't know that any type of movie like this has really been made since.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's that much to, except for the effects, which, I mean, were taken, sort of.
Yeah.
But,
like, they stole the score a little bit and threw it in Hateful Eight.
I mean, kind of. Yeah.
There was one unused thing that they took from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's technically correct. The best type of correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it is tough to nail down, like, what type of person would like this. You kind of just have to be like, you could like definitely watch this movie and be like, this is terrible, or you could watch it and be like, this is great, and then rewatch it and be like, what is happening? Just because like it does take like a certain mindset to get into.
Yeah.
Especially like if you didn't love it the first time.
Yeah. I didn't hate it though. I mean, I was fully engrossed.
Yeah, I mean, it's an engaging film.
Yeah.
I think like the pacing is really solid. Like things are happening and like, but it's not like they're not happening like quickly. You know, it's not like you're not getting like whiplash. Really.
Yeah. Again, there's no like big battle at the end that lasts half an hour.
Right.
It just is all a slow burn.
Like
literally.
They're just doing
everything slowly burns down.
Yeah, they're just doing things.
Yep.
Kurt Russell does things. The movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I'll be interested to see if anyone else shows up for this discussion, or we just have to cancel it because no one will.
I mean, we're not going to cancel. I'm going to show up.
Yeah,
at least.
And but we've already talked about. We talked about it like after we watched the movie, and
Maybe I'll have thought of more stuff.
Yeah.
I just I haven't thought of much to say about this movie.
Yeah. I mean, we talked for a while.
Yeah, I mean, we talked for a long while. Mostly about other stuff, but...
that's fine. No one's listening anyways.
Yeah. I mean, literally right now, nobody's listening. So we're not doing this live.
Right. So do you have the next movie planned out?
No. Oh, shit. I should have done that.
Your turn.
Hang on.
It's your turn, you son of a bitch.
Wait, I have a list. Vamp, Kevin.
Okay. Yeah. I'm excited because I think my hope for this movie, I picked a movie that the first movie I picked for our movie club was The Witch. And one of our friends watched about 5 minutes of it and then turned it off because something horrifying happened. Which I thought wasn't even that big of a problem. So my hope was to get this person to watch at least 20 minutes of the film. So I think the dog kennel scene is about 20 minutes in, and I think she'll probably get to that point, and then turn it off, and neither of them will show up to the discussion.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But what do you got?
Let's see. Have you watched Casablanca?
I don't remember. I might have watched it I took a film class in college.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we watched that movie or not, or just talked about it. But sure, we could watch that movie.
Wait, hang on. I have other options here.
Okay. Go run through it.
Outlaw King.
I have not even heard of that.
Dr. Zhivago.
I've heard of that, but I have not seen it.
Okay.
Is that Hitchcock or not?
No, that's David Lean.
David Lean.
Yeah, he did Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Bridge over the River Kwai.
Yeah. I've seen both of those movies.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Both of them, I was very bored.
Really? Okay.
Lawrence of Arabia was a goddamn
super
slog.
long and slow, and
I mean, it's got to be it's like 4 hours or something.
Yeah, it's like 3:45.
It's really long.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah. All right. To
be fair, I watched both of those movies when I was like 13.
Yeah.
It was not.
All right. Foxcatcher.
I have not seen that movie.
Okay. I haven't seen that in a long time. And I think you would like it. All right, let's do Foxcatcher.
Who directed that one?
That was directed by the guy who directed Moneyball. Can't remember his name right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like Brett or Reese or
or Steve or or
hang on, it's coming to me. I'm still thinking.
Or Bennett Miller.
Yeah, there we go.
Or
yep, it's Bennett Miller. Because you liked Moneyball, right?
I did like Moneyball. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Foxcatcher.
Sure.
Again, very a dark and depressing movie.
Good.
But you didn't like my upbeat choice, so.
I mean, I didn't like it because it's just a rom-com.
Yeah.
And I don't love rom-coms.
Okay.
And I get kind of bored during them, just in general.
All right.
But yeah. It has Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell. I love me some Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo. It's an all-star cast.
The Ruffles. All right, we're doing
Although it's a sports drama. Is it a sports drama?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be spooky.
It's about wrestling. How's it gonna be spooky?
I always like in sports dramas. I'm always like, who is gonna get the career-ending injury and or die? And I kind of like set the whole movie on edge, like waiting for someone to get the career-ending injury and or die.
Yeah.
And then it's very stressful for me.
Yeah.
I think it's because I watched Remember the Titans when I was little?
Oh, yeah.
And then someone does die or they get paralyzed or something.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, okay, paralyzed. This is just how all sports movies are.
And it kind of is. I mean, Miracle. Isn't there a...
No, there's no one who gets the career-ending injury in Miracle. They win. That's an uplifting movie.
No, some guy has to sit it out, though. Doesn't he, break his arm or something?
I don't think so. I think he has to... They want him to sit out because he sucks. And then he's like, no, I don't suck. I'm going to play even better.
Okay, I don't remember that movie. Maybe we should watch Miracle.
We could watch Miracle. That movie's great. Let's watch all Kurt Russell movies.
Yeah.
This is just a Kurt Russell podcast now.
Yep. The Russell cast. Kurting the Russells.
I think that would be terrible.
Rustling up some Kurts.
I think we would end up just saying Kurt Russell plays Kurt Russell in this film.
Yeah, he really Kurt Russells it up.
Although I think he's a good actor and he has he has good range.
I mean, he has it's the it's a Harrison Ford thing of like Harrison Ford plays a pretty Harrison Fordy character,
right?
But he does a good job of doing that, and they are like a little bit distinct, But they're also well done in what he does. Like he's a classic blockbuster star, in that he's compelling when he's.
I mean,
on
they
screen.
Cast him for a specific reason. Yeah, like you want your movie to feel a certain
and
way.
he's okay doing exactly those movies all the time too.
Yeah,
which is Anyways, all right, so we're doing Foxcatcher.
Sounds
Everybody
good.
out there,
all
you people listening to all these episodes, go
Who's
watch
picking
Foxcatcher.
the movie for our movie club next.
That would be Mel.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I asked her and she had no idea.
Yeah.
So that'll be a game day decision.
That'll probably be
for
something
sure.
out of left field for us.
Right. Which will be interesting. Are we going to talk about Xfinity War Part 2 on this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do a special
okay.
what
am
I trying
episode?
to say? Yeah, special episode.
Special episode. The Xfinity War Part 2 episode.
Yep.
Talking about
we do, of
Avengers
course, mean
Endgame.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
We just keep referring it
to it as Xfinity. Because, Infinity War is obviously Xfinity War, right?
Did
obviously,
Comcast's Avengers is
Xfinity War.
Marvel's Xfinity War.
And then this is Xfinity War Part 2.
Yep.
Naturally.
Man,
okay.
I'm so excited for that movie.
That movie's going to be fun.
They just had a clip, and I was like, squee.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, this podcast
Chris
is
Evans is
done.
going to die. Okay.
Yeah,
bye.
Maybe. Spoilers. Jesus. Hey, everybody. Jared here. Just a reminder to subscribe and tell your friends about this show. We'd really appreciate it. And again, follow us on all the socials, which are in the description. It's How About Pod, at How About Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and howaboutpod@gmail.com. All right, thanks. Talk to you guys next time.